This week on Full Circle Florida, hurricane heartbreak, the floods, the damage, the cleanup. You've seen it. And this week I speak with the homeowners who lost everything in those rising waters and are now digging out one day at a time. You're staying strong, it sounds like.
I'm trying to, but every time you get more bad news, it's just, what are you gonna do?
But there is help on the way. FEMA giving out money to storm victims, how to navigate the process and get the help you need. We will walk you through what you need to know before you apply. And a busy week of news from the escalating attacks between Israel and Iran and the vice presidential debate. We'll sort through it all next on Full Circle Florida. Welcome in, everyone. It's been a tough week, and it is great to be back with you after a week of covering the hurricane, and now the cleanup begins. It is a long road back for many, and this week I spent some time talking to folks along the Alafia River in Hillsborough County, where people there are struggling after Hurricane Helene shoved water into their homes. We are in Riverview today, here along Magnolia Street, where the floodwaters have receded, but the flood of work is just beginning. These folks here basically giving up on their possessions, having to let it just go to the curb and having to let them go. That's pieces of their lives. And they've got a long road of recovery ahead of them. Let's keep going. On this Monday, residents of Riverview and Gibsonton faced with the daunting task of putting their lives and their homes back together. The Alafia River overflowed its banks during Hurricane Helene, leaving this trail of destruction in its wake. Jim and Dusty are longtime residents. They've never seen the river like this. What do you want people to know about what happened here and other parts that got damaged?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, it's really hard to say right now because there's so much devastation on just our street.
Yeah.
My neighbors are lost everything, so it's just really sad.
What was it like for people that don't know?
First, I gotta say, heed the warnings. I mean, next time we will put things up higher. Nobody imagined the water going as high as it did.
The neighborhood is damaged, one part or the other. Belongings ruined. I mean, at least they're safe. It's a lot to take in on a Monday. Today, Joshua is helping his parents clean up. It's a lot. How do you move on?
Just like we're doing right now. Just trying to, a little bit of hard work. But
Day by day.
yeah, I mean, people lost their pets. People, I know I didn't see like how many people died, but so it sucks. But at the end of the day, like, that's all you do. You just move on one step at a time. All this drywall and trash and just trying to keep working, I guess, keep moving forward. How about my parents? Not much else you can do.
It's somebody's life. The flooding has ruined homes, destroyed belongings, and left many residents wondering how they will recover from this disaster. How are you doing, first of all?
Well, it's sad, very sad. My car was completely submerged in the water. The house, that's all my kids' belongings, clothes, books, school supplies, everything was ruined.
For Renee and her family, it's all just a little bit overwhelming. Her kids went to school today with wet clothes on their backs.
They went to school wearing wet shoes and my clothes and whatever I could pull together for them. They don't even have notebooks anymore because they were all wet. The papers, everything's wet and just destroyed.
I'm sorry. She's trying to stay strong, but right now she and her 3 children have nowhere to go. But you're staying strong, it sounds like.
I'm trying to, but every time you get more bad news, it's just, what are you gonna do? And when it's completely out of your control, you just have to sit there and let it happen.
Together they will rise above the floods and overcome the devastation that Hurricane Helene left behind and eventually emerge stronger on the other side. There are better days ahead. It's just going to take some help and some time as we go further in depth with some useful information here about how to file a claim with FEMA if you need to. Navigating that process can be a bit confusing. And this week, investigative reporter Katie LaGrone spent some time sorting through the do's and the don'ts before you file a claim.
By now, you've seen the images and heard their stories.
Beds, dressers, literally nothing is able to be saved.
First insurance claim on my home.
Floridians flooded out by Hurricane Helene in what is being described by officials as record-setting in parts of Tampa Bay. Over the weekend, President Biden approved FEMA funding for Florida, which means the Federal Emergency Management Agency can now grant much-needed financial help to residents and business owners in Florida's 17 hardest-hit counties. It's money that, according to FEMA, will literally open the floodgates for assistance, from covering serious needs including food, meds, and baby formula, to temporary housing, basic home repair costs, and personal property and losses.
Tragedy is tragedy. What FEMA's trying to do is take tragedy, make it triumph from tragedy.
Jack Pagano is with FEMA, deployed to Tampa's recently opened Disaster Recovery Center. We asked him the questions you want to know about seeking FEMA's help.
First, who's eligible for FEMA assistance and who's not?
Anybody that got damage from the hurricane, whether it's Hurricane Debbie, Hurricane Helene, can get assistance.
If you have insurance, homeowners insurance, flood insurance, can you still get assistance from FEMA?
Yes, hurricane insurance, or you had flood insurance, FEMA will pick up the remainder of the insurance. So say, for instance, you only have 80% hurricane insurance or insurance on the house. FEMA will give you that other 20%.
Same with flood?
Flooding is a little different, but FEMA will participate and give you assistance.
If you get a grant from FEMA, are you expected to pay it back?
No, grants from FEMA are no, you don't pay back.
Your critical first step to getting help from FEMA: applying, even if you're unsure of your eligibility. Be prepared to include the following: a current phone number, the address at the time of the disaster and where you're staying today, your social security number, a list of your damage and losses, banking information, and if insured, your insurance policy number and company name. Keep in mind, if you have homeowners, renters, or flood insurance, FEMA will not duplicate benefits for losses already covered.
And once you provide that banking information, you can get money deposited directly into your account within a few days versus a few weeks. To start that application process, you can visit a disaster recovery center like this one. Go to disasterassistance.gov or call the number on your screen. We've also posted all this information on our website. I'm my team investigator, Katie LaGrone, taking action for you.
Next on Full Circle Florida, what is the fallout from Helene on Florida's housing market, plus the good news beyond the cleanup?